Hi, I'm Carla Budarak and welcome to Behavior Communicates. Right after I did a training recently on teaching strategies, a new instructional assistant came up to me afterwards and asked if he could talk to me. I said, sure, no problem, what's up? The first thing he said to me was, and I quote, "What's the point?" This guy was asking me why we were spending all this time and effort educating children who would never get a high school diploma or go to college. I wasn't sure because of his tone if he was being rude, asking what seemed to be a rhetorical question, or if he really wanted an answer. We talked further and I found out that he had a friend with a child who has special needs. That's when I realized he really wanted to know what we were all hoping to gain. His question gave me the perfect opportunity to put into words the philosophy of why I do what I do. I told him that the students in his classroom who have moderate mental disabilities can learn to read and do math at some level. I also explained that they can learn to meet many, if not all, of their personal needs and can learn to communicate in some fashion their wants and needs to others. I also told him that they can learn to perform a job, whether it's paid or unpaid, and they can learn to control inappropriate behavior so that they can go out in public places and participate in family gatherings. I explained that we want to reduce the challenges that parents face each day so that in some way we can reduce the stress, which in turn could help families have a happier life and hopefully stay together. Then I went on to explain that the more skills a child has, the better quality of life he or she will have, and that someday when the parents are no longer around, it was my belief that the more a child can do for themselves, the less likely the child will be neglected or mistreated. By the end of my little speech, I can tell you this guy had tears in his eyes. He thanked me and said he had a better understanding of the bigger picture. After he left, I started thinking about all the children I've impacted through the years. I helped a high school boy with autism and moderate mental disabilities start talking using PECS and core vocabulary board, then watched tears stream down his dad's face when I invited him to school to see the breakthrough. Dad told me that all he and his wife had ever wanted was for their son to talk. I listened to a mom say, "Who knew?" when I helped her transform her 12-year-old daughter from someone who was hurting people and destroying property to a sweet, quiet young lady who was capable of following a schedule and completing her work independently. This child had been hurting family members and would grab the steering wheel of the car while mom was driving before we intervened and taught her daughter some new skills. I also thought about the young lady who spent the majority of her day in a wheelchair or on the sofa at her home due to a health issue, passively watching her world go by until I discovered that she could activate a communication device and vocalize to make choices. She can now choose what she wants to wear, write letters to Santa, play games like Apples to Apples, and answer questions about current events and chapter books that she listens to. One day after we finished reading a book that made her laugh out loud, first time I'd ever heard that, I told her that even though she couldn't leave her house very often, that she could have adventures all over the world just by listening to books. I got a big smile. What's the point? I think you know. Thank you so much for joining me here at Behavior Communicates. And just remember, the more we know about how to help the child or the students we love, the better quality life they will have. If you like this video, leave a comment below and please share it with a friend, a coworker, a parent, or a teacher that you know. And if you haven't signed up yet for Behavior Communicates, get on over there and sign up. You get my weekly blog and video and other resources and information that I only share with my subscribers. Take care, and I'll see you next time.